How's it going, everyone? I'm Donovan, and this is How to Happy. In this video, I'm going to talk about when comfort hides opportunity. So I have a life right now that I would say is fairly comfortable, right? I kind of do the work I'm interested in. I have a fairly good social network. I keep in decent shape, all those kinds of things, right? From the outside, anyone would probably say, hey, your life is going really great, and I'm not going to disagree with that. However, there is one small caveat to look at, and that is when comfort actually starts hiding opportunities. Now, I could easily live in this exact same state, kind of doing these things for another 5-10 years. Who knows when the next major roadblock would show up and kind of impact my path in a way that I had to make an adjustment. However, I can also definitely say that I'm not pushing myself, and for me, that means something is lacking. Now, comfort, of course, isn't necessarily a bad thing on its own. However, I'm starting to run into some interesting side effects, such as I feel less inclined to try new things, right? I'm starting to get more ingrained into these habits, and when new things come up that are going to make me feel uncomfortable, I'm a little bit less likely to try it just because I've been comfortable for so long. Now, again, a lot of the time this isn't a problem, but I'm noticing that some opportunities are coming up, and while I'm still taking them, I'm more reluctant because I've allowed myself to get comfortable with a lot of these routines. The point of this video is that this is a dangerous mindset to enter. When you become too comfortable and you don't want to take on new challenges, not only do you possibly miss opportunities, but when change arises, which it will because change is an inevitable part of life, you're less equipped to handle the uncomfortable situations you'll have to go through in order to get your life back in balance. Also, without really challenging or pushing myself, I'm not adding a whole lot of memories or events to my life story that I feel are very meaningful because it's things that I've gone through before. It's a routine. So another reason that it's important to push yourself is because when you overcome these obstacles, these are the things that you remember and can put into your important life events. If you just keep doing what you're comfortable with all the time is going to start to merge together because your brain isn't recognizing novelty because we're not engaging with new ideas or activities. Now, for some people, it might be really great to find a life of comfort, and that fits really well within their goals. For me personally, I have some ambitions where I need to step out of my comfort zone and double down in order for me to reach them. And I think a lot of people have these types of ambitions, but allow comfort to keep them trapped in what they're doing instead of trying something new. Me personally, for example, it took me a very long time to get out of a job I was working to start working on projects I felt were more meaningful because I kept worrying about how am I going to find something as good as this, etc., when I knew that I wanted to do something else. I just wasn't willing to face the uncomfortableness for a very long period of time until things kind of erupted. That's not an ideal way to go about living your life. And that's the problem I'm talking about. Sometimes we get so locked into comfort that we avoid these opportunities that are going to be more meaningful for us in the long term. Had I listened to that voice of comfort, which I did for a long time, even longer, I just would have prolonged myself in an unhappy state. And again, the work that I did during that time, I don't feel was as meaningful. Now, of course, I've gone back and kind of dug some lessons out, but I didn't feel it was as meaningful as some of the things I'm working on now because it didn't resonate with me quite as much. Now, the point of what I'm trying to say is not necessarily to get you to take on more challenging tasks. The point is to have you think about what it is that you really want to do and recognize whether or not your actions are mapping onto what you want to accomplish. Many of us, myself included, have these aspirations, but then our actions don't map onto them, right? I can say for several years, I was doing things that didn't match my real ambitions because I felt like I needed to stay in a certain comfort zone. It was easier, but it wasn't the right choice in the long term. there's a good chance for a lot of people they are able to maintain a reasonably high level of comfort. You don't have to completely change your life while still working on your goals. So, for example, if you have a family and your primary concern is providing for them, you can probably make that happen without completely, uprooting and changing your life. However, you will still probably have to push your boundaries a bit to get into the most ideal position for what you want to accomplish. It really depends on what your goals are and are your actions mapping to that. The point here is don't let comfort hold you back from reaching what you want. So, as I personally work through some of these ideas, I kind of wanted to bring it up to you as well to think about and just kind of reflect on to make sure that your actions are mapping onto your actual aspirations. If not, it's going to be important to start thinking about how you can change your life so that you get closer to what you really want instead of just staying in your comfort zone. Now, let's move on to the exercise section. 1. How comfortable are you in your current life? 2. Is that comfort allowing you to reach your goals, or do you need to face some uncomfortable situations first? 3. What opportunities are available to you but might require being uncomfortable? Hopefully that helps you reflect a little bit just to make sure that you're doing what you really want to, that your every day in and out actually lines up with your overall strategy. That's all I've got for this video. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, throw them down in the box below. I'll get to them as soon as I can, and I will see you next time.
You can check out more content at howtohappy.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos. We've also got a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook that you can check out. Reflect, take action, and enjoy life. See you next time.